right, everybody. That's right. Yeah. Ctun show, everybody. This is Can't Tell Us Nothing. The Can't Tell Us Nothing show. Thank you for tuning in. Wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Antoine. We got Tandy. We got Amici. We got John. We're in full force here.
Full force.
This is the
Full
foursome
force.
known as Can't Tell Us Nothing. Improv group out of Houston, Texas. We're hanging out.
Yay!
Yo.
Yeah, we'll just do. We'll jump into some improv throughout the show to help. I don't know our conversation sort of inspire what we do here, and so we like to just kind of take whatever's going on and use that to inspire hilarity, greatness, suspense, thrills. It can go anywhere, everybody.
Oh,
It can go everywhere, anywhere, all at once.
yeah.
What's the show? What's the movie?
They said, that's it. Everything.
I still haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen
It's
it
on.
either.
I think they said it's on Amazon. Prime
Amazon
Video
Prime.
for free. Yeah, Amazon Prime for free.
It's on
I
Amazon Prime.
read that today, but I'm not sure. I didn't test it out.
Amici, Tandy, you've seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Do I need to see it?
Yes.
Is it an action movie, horror, comedy, all of the
Just
above?
go in not knowing anything, and
Yes.
enjoy.
That's what I
Yes.
hear.
Enjoy
Go in not
everything.
knowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just okay.
It's
Go in not knowing.
Sounds like a cult.
Hey, this coming in. Just join us. Yeah.
Just
We're having a
join
good
the
time
cult.
here. Come on. Yeah.
Nobody can even prepare you for it, even if somebody tried to tell you.
I like movies like that.
Yeah.
You just gotta go see the movie.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta
Yeah.
enjoy it. You just have to, and you will. You
Awesome.
will. Fantastic.
All you want, and you'll be in a cult. So there's either way.
Win-win.
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 Win-win, everybody.
Movie cult sounds like a better cult than
All the other ones.
all the other ones, except for the sex cult.
There- That sounds like the best. Are we ranking
Those
cults
are
here?
in the top tier. If you were going to be in a cult, and you'd be like, wait, I get it. I wasn't a cult, but it was a sex cult. You'd be like, oh.
But why are you thinking of sex?
What
cult?
if it's just
You get to have
Yeah.
sex with who you want to have sex with.
Mm.
That would be terrible. You mess around. You do because the person who started it is certainly not somebody who's like sexy and desirable. It's some freak of nature who's like who figured out he can like Svengali people's minds to get them in a sex cult, but don't nobody want to have sex with them like when their minds are clear and not manipulated.
we cut to a sex cult? Hey, hey, Antoine.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for finally inviting me to your sex cult. I also think this was going to be a lot of fun. But this
It
is
is.
all people I didn't like in high school in this room. That's what I see.
What you talked about?
This room is full of people I don't like.
These are some of the most open-minded and progressive people from our high school. This is some of the best people. Like I didn't like them either at first, but
Okay.
after getting to know them, especially the dude who runs this, Rasputin, getting to know him especially.
Yeah, Rasputin.
I
I
had them
remember
all
him. He used
wrong.
to shove me. Yeah, he used to shove me in my locker a lot.
Yeah.
Amici!
Hey, Rasputin, you remember me?
Yeah, and you got your land legs. You didn't move when I shoved you that time. What's going on, you
yeah.
knucklehead?
Oh, ow.
Oh, Rasputin.
Hey, high school was a long time ago. I think we've all kind of changed and grown out of the crazy weirds roughhousing.
Was it really a long time ago? Did we really change? Let's have sex.
You want to hop right into it? Yeah. I mean, you're new here, so you got to get it going first.
I'm not quite feeling it right now. I just kind of come and
Amici, I said you were cool. Come on, man.
I am, but I didn't know this was the makeup of the crowd.
Are you cool? Are you
I'm
not?
very uncomfortable right now. Yeah.
Hey, Amici. Remember when I used to shove you in your locker? Just shove you all the way in there.
Yeah, those are bad memories. I missed a lot of tests that I was supposed to take and had to redo my junior year because of that.
Bad memories for you, good memories for me. You were pretty flexible. Hey, look, I'll catch you later. I'm going to go get some of the popcorn from the popcorn room.
Actually,
Popcorn.
I'm glad that he brought up the locker thing, because he actually reconstructed our school hallway in one of these rooms here. Yeah, he has different themed rooms.
Okay.
This one right here, actually, right next to you. Look in here. So
Okay.
those are replicas of the lockers from our high school. In case you ever want to have sex in one,
yeah,
you can.
Okay. Well, this is definitely my old locker. It looked just like it. There's an A carved in the top where a few people can see it. And then we try the code. Oh, it actually opens. Oh.
All right. So full disclosure, right? Rasputin, he really wanted you here. I know I was kind of shaky at first about you coming, but he has a list and you were next on the list, and he is super excited. And it would really make me look good and move me up in the ranks if you could not make this weird. Can you do that for me?
Hey, I'll meet you. Remember?
Hey.
Remember when I used to take your lunch money? And you'd be like hungry by 5th period? And like your stomach would growl, and people in class would be like, "What's that?"
Yo, you okay?
Oh, I'm good. I'm all right. Yeah, some of the popcorn kernels got caught, and then everybody would be like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "That's Amici. He farted." They called you fart boy.
Yeah, I remember that.
See, you found your locker here.
Yeah, I did. You know what? I actually think I'm gonna maybe get on out of here. No, leave. Like leave.
Get on it.
Not have sex.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought you were cool. I told him you were cool.
I am cool. I'm just not enjoying being, having all these bad memories drug up. I've been through a lot of therapy to get over this stuff, and
you have to sex your way through the bad memories. Everybody knows that. Everybody here knows that.
Sex your way through the bad memories.
That's what we're all doing here.
That's it. I got nothing but good memories. But I recognize that I was bad memories for like 90% of the people in high school. So when I started up this sex cult, part of my thing was that come and work through your bad memories with me, the person you hate the most. I mean, most of the time it turns out to be sexual working through. I don't know. Let's have sex.
And scene. For a sex cult, it seems like people hanging out.
It sounds like a bathhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, but what if you joined a sex cult and you didn't like anybody? You're like, these are all.
I mean, have you ever seen
in any kind of way?
A sex cult? Like, I feel like that's, I don't know. It's definitely not America's Next Top Model, right? It's definitely not.
No.
Yeah, they don't attract the most attractive personality and body type people. So it's one of those like too good to be true. If you met a sex cult and they were just a bunch of very attractive people who just wanted to have sex with anybody.
Yeah, I think it's, if you're in a sex cult, it's mostly because you just enjoy the act of sex more than whoever's on the receiving end, right? Like,
you just sexing for the sake of sexing?
Sexing for the sex of it, yeah.
Oh my God.
That's my interpretation of why people would join. They're just like, I don't care who it is. Let's just make it happen. And just
Which
a bunch
is why
of people doing that.
A movie cult would be so much better than a sex cult.
Explain.
Right? Because I'm assuming you're watching movies, you're talking about movies, perhaps like the daily task that you have to perform is making a movie. Some aspect of like making something in the movie industry is kind of like Hollywood by force, right? You would just be like, or by choice, forced choice, I guess, because you make a choice to join a cult. But it would, I mean,
Hollywood by indoctrination or something like that.
How bad could it be? How bad could a movie cult be?
As a quick aside, I don't think there's enough porn film reviewers out there. I want to see more reviews.
More porn reviews. Now you might be on something.
So we don't know what's worth watching, what's not.
There's so
You're
much out
right.
there. What should I be watching?
Yeah.
And are you talking about like the more talented material that's like developed, or are you talking about like Pornhub, camera phone? Like,
I imagine there would be tiers of it, right? You
Tiers.
have like your Academy Awards level with high production values, but you also have,
Yeah.
South by
Yeah,
Southwest.
indie, indie level. Yeah.
man,
Hey, Shauna, what's going on?
Hey.
I agree. There should be more porn review because I actually knew a guy in college.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
John
so
had the
my son is
little baby in his
breaking
office.
stuff. Yeah, he just knocked over my speaker.
Well, Shauna, I don't know. What do you think? What's better, a sex cult or a movie cult? That's what we're discussing right now. But Tandy, you're saying you think a movie cult would be the best. And I think I missed it a little bit. Are you saying that the cult would make movies, or what is this cult doing?
Okay, yeah, that's my vision, right? You join this movie cult because there's some leader who has convinced you that everything movie is like the way to go, the way to live. I would assume that there'd be certain movies that would be like gods, the kind of thing that you pray to, or quotes from certain
Star
movies that
Wars.
would be like scripture or whatever.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
like
know.
different genres, and each genre has their movie god.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they go to, like, if you have a
You see
problem,
it, you open
it's
it
solved
up.
with a lot of movie quotes
I
and
hit it, but
and references from other movies. I don't know. That's just how that's what I fixed in my mind. And then I'm sure you got to watch movies. And then like I said, most cults, they're cultivating their own food. They're doing stuff.
We cut to a
You make
movie
movies.
quote. We cut to a movie cult. Amici, I'm glad you let me join your movie cult, but
Yeah.
I don't like any of these movies. I thought you guys were watching good movies. What is this shit?
But these are good movies. What are you talking about?
No, dude, you have snakes on a plane here for your action god? It doesn't even make any sense. Like, I guess it's an action movie. I feel like it's just because that's Samuel L. Jackson. It's the only reason why you put it here. And it's not good.
Because snakes are evil. They symbolize evil, right? So imagine being stuck. I'm just giving you the broad pitch.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you understand the point of the movie. Imagine being stuck.
I think it's in the title. Snakes on a plane. That's the point of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's the point of the movie. Okay, so you get it. So I don't have any problem with it, and it's very clear, very it's open, it's out there.
I thought you guys were going to be here discussing like the classics, some of the best of the best. I wanted to see Fight Club on here, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Jurassic Park, Star Wars.
No, snakes on the plane is the perfect example of an action movie. So,
I'm gonna need you to.
I don't think you're getting it. Why don't you come to this other room with me? Well, I'll try and. I can explain it a bit better in here.
Sure.
Okay, that's great.
What's going on in this room?
Okay, as you can see, this room is shaped like an airplane. There's rows of seats. Just going to close the door. Okay, if you want to have a seat, we can get started.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, like, this room isn't made very good. Like, I can see that the idea is for it to be an airplane, but none of these seats match. The proportions are all wrong. There's too much leg room. Like, it just looks like a room full of car seats. What do you mean?
We cut to behind the screen. So you see, Brother John, I told you were not keeping to detail of the film. When you ran out of the blue material to cover the seats of the plane, you said, "Oh, just anything will do." Do you see? We're trying to convert this man, and he's pointing out all the inconsistencies in our set.
Yeah, I hear you. I do. I did my best, and I'm I really love creating these types of scenes, even though I don't have all the material that I need
Yeah,
to make.
right.
Um, I kind of feel like one of those misfits from all those old Christmas movies that you
Brother
just
John,
sound like you're
brother,
about to cast me away out of this
that's
group.
brother John, brother John. Do not quote ye from the book of Misfit Island. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and that little carpenter guy. I don't even. We've been banned from reading that work. The Abominable Snowman was here for a while. He gave us a talk and he said that was completely against his belief system and really cast his people in a bad light. So brother John, don't quote from that. Don't even.
I'm not going to quote from it again. I'm just saying.
And that's what, see, you're influenced by that. That's what's happening with these mismatched seats that our potential convert is pointing out. I mean, how is brother Amici going to convert him? How's he going to convince him that this is the best cult to be in?
He didn't get to the part where I made the lifelike snake, and that quotes Samuel L. Jackson, because I didn't have a Samuel L. Jackson budget and I didn't have a snake budget. I had to put them together.
And tell me about the snake here. What is this? It's coming out of I guess it was supposed to be a crate, but it looks like a box with a U-Haul.
It's a box, motherfucker.
Did the snake say that?
Well, maybe. Yeah, that's the voice of the. Whatever you hear is what you need to hear. It's the message.
I'm a snake on a motherfucking plane.
That's not even what happened in the movie. Samuel Jackson wasn't a snake, and none of the snakes talked. What? Have you
Brother John? Brother John, for real, you couldn't just turn the movie on and actually make the scene look like what happened in the movie. You're taking artistic license and you're making the snake talk like Samuel Jackson.
It took me a long time to cast that role, and I'm telling you, it's not my artistic integrity. It's the budget. I don't have the money to pull that off. You want snakes everywhere in a beautiful United Airlines looking airplane set?
Yes,
you need to give me that damn budget, okay? If you want motherfucking snakes on a plane. Otherwise, you're going to have motherfucking Samuel Jackson snake on a fucking plane cussing at everybody because you only left me enough money for that. Can I speak to the where's
we cut to the council of the movie called You're hereby brought before the council to discuss budgetary needs for a Snakes on a Plane sequel?
Absolutely.
We're interested.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I think my set design of Snakes on a Plane wasn't put in the right context. If we call it Snakes on a Plane 2, the attack of the Samuel Jackson snake,
Ooh.
I think we will be able to continue to ride the wave of the action that came out of Snakes on a Plane with one of the all-time greatest action figures, Samuel Jackson. I mean, I'm telling you, nobody forgot the snake, the Samuel Jackson snake. Not one person. Not one person.
Well, can I just say I love it. It just sounds like the absolutely perfect idea. I do have one note.
Okay.
Even though it is perfect, I have one note.
Perfect. But you still got notes.
Yeah. So I don't remember the Samuel Jackson snake, and I'm wondering how we're going to explain it to the audience. There's the Samuel Jackson snake.
Yeah, the people who enjoy this movie are some of the smartest people on the planet, and we want to make sure that we are able to.
Also, Mensa members love this movie.
I noticed this movie tested really high on the Mensa and the Rhodes Scholars across the world. So I made it really simple. I put Samuel Jackson's face on an anaconda snake. So if you see the animatronics here, you see that the design of the eyebrows. He has the little goatee around his.
Oh, you went
his face.
animatronics. Oh,
I went
okay. This is
animatronic.
interesting. Normally people go CGI. You-
Nah, I went animatronic. I went. Told you I didn't have the budget for CGI, so I had to scrap together a couple of my from an older cult I was in, the Jim Henson cult.
and scene. This is way better than my last cult.
Not the puppet cult. Not
I'm fascinated. I told you guys I'm fascinated by cults, but what I'm fascinated is the psychology that's like that's in there that seeds people into kind of like voluntarily subjugating themselves. You know, like it's weird. I kind of put that in the ballpark of like prostitution in a sense, where it's. I know this is pretty difficult to follow, but the psychology of, you know, a pimp and a cult leader can't be that much different.
No, I'm with you. Like the people that they indoctrinate into this cult are specific kinds of people. They caught them at the right time in their life with the right message, and it convinced them to make a big change. Now, the people that cults go after are typically, since they have their standards are like, you got to have money, like you got to bring something to the table. They don't just take anybody,
right? You got to have some kind of value for sure. You couldn't be a serial cult hopper, which would be a funny mockumentary of like in 10 different cults. It's like, I'm just testing it out. Do it for a year, see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How long do you get to spend?
I think a year is enough to be like, I don't know, guys.
I get the general gist of this.
I like my own cult better. Is there, you know,
what's that cult offering that we're not offering? We'll match it.
We'll match it, getting a bit of more
competitive cult. No, man, the loose cannons in those cults are the children who are born of the people who've joined, right? Because your mind is, you know, your mind, you can whatever, but you have kids and, you know, they try from birth, but maybe, yeah, well, a lot of times, you know, your kids may not be of that same mind, and they, you know, that there's that little glimmer of whatever. Like Antoine, I just watched that what is it? Keep Sweet and Obey. Yeah. So that's Keep Sweet and Obey. So that made me think about it. I was, you know, it was the children. There were none of these were adults who were, you know, these are people born into. And
the children are they're yeah, I agree with you. That's what makes it hard for everything is fun and games until they start having children or they start grabbing children, snatching them up. That's when it starts becoming okay. It's no longer funny, right? Like, it's sad when you meet children in cults or was kidnapped and transferred into these cults. I have a thing for that, but yeah, I agree.
See, so what they should do is like they put their kids out and let them like be raised in some area, and then if the kid grows up and they want to join, then that's a fair process.
What does that mean?
No. I mean, I know it sounds terrible, but I don't
put them in the woods.
Once they turn 3, they gotta go. Get bust to the city and got to figure it out.
I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a way that children have a fair shot at joining this thing like the adult does, right? For the most part, but that's not.
They don't.
I know that's not how it works. I know that's not how it works. I know.
Especially because they always like it's not like they can just like send them off to a relative's house because they always cut off their family.
Yep.
Right. It's never like so. There's literally no option for these kids.
No option.
No option. And that's suffocating to be
Yeah.
a child and that remote and that cut off. It's terrifying to me. So yeah.
But
Yeah.
I still hold the belief, and I think cults will always be around. I
Yeah.
believe that,
For
but
sure.
the way that they look, the way that they're built, I think is gonna change
For sure.
because it's so hard to control what people know these days. You just can't, with the internet being so easily accessible, available. There's just too much information. People have questions, and there's only so long you can be like, "Don't worry your little head about that. You know, we'll take care of you." There's only so long you can say things like that for people.
But I also think the availability of information on people is easier too. So it's easier to hold somebody. Think of cancel culture, right? So not all the people in those powerful positions. Imagine if let's say Scientology came after you, or a Christian church came after you, but they had all this information, all your posts, all your texts, all this stuff that could kind of incriminate you. And I think going back to that prostitution hook and all that, that's where that mind goes. Do I bend and kind of keep what I think outside views of me protected, but I'm kind of manipulated into this cult? And I see that happening even in politics. I mean, I literally think the first digital cult was QAnon. I'm going to go out and say that. People are going to be pissed. Hopefully not. But I watched the documentary, and the whole thing was like an anonymous leader who turned in a perfect opportunity. He created this digital cult with people that followed this certain value system, certain ideology. They were doing crazy things for a person they ain't even met because of what they think he's associated to or aligned with, right? Like, so it is harder to, hopefully in an educated person, to try to lie to them, but it's also a bigger net that they can cast in the world to catch people who, may not be bumping into a lot of those different thoughts, which is kind of the reason why I like living in a big metropolitan city. You hear so much diversity of thought. Yeah. And you go anywhere remote, the ideal pool dramatically decreases, and they typically become the same polarizing different ideas. But in a city like Houston, these big coastal cities with about millions of people, there's hundreds of different ideas and ideologies. And you're exposed to that, kind of lets you go, yeah, that sounds ridiculous, or oh no, that really sounds ridiculous. But if you're in a remote area, you don't have any competing ideas to compare. No family, it's over.
That reminds me of the story I just read just a little bit earlier today about that Texas lawmaker. Let me share. I'll try to summarize the story here. Make your business boom. No. So apparently in Texas, they passed a law that says all public schools need to have a sign that says the national motto. If you asked me what the national motto was of America, I probably would fail. But apparently it needs to say these words and have the flag and like nothing else on it, right? And apparently people have been sort of taking this and saying, well, you didn't say what language needed to be in. So people have been making the sign in like Arabic and Hindi and Klingon, or people have been where's the picture? There should be another picture.
And I thought that they restricted that you couldn't have any other flags. So for example, you couldn't have any you couldn't have the gay pride flag. You couldn't have a Black Lives Matter flag.
But one thing they did was put it in the rainbow colors. So it's like, even though they're abiding by the law, people are still sort of trolling it at the same time. To me, forcing people to have a sign like this is like a little culty. To me, it's kind of culty. For sure. Like, you have to have a sign that says for sure trust.
Exactly.
But people,
it goes back to that values, right? Like that's why why our politics are so divided is because they have been so shaped into their value system that now it does come off propaganda and culty. Like to have a God we trust sign, that's the only thing you can have in your school. What educational value does that give? Honestly, right? If
Mhm.
I'm an American, but why does that have to be mandated? It's not like kids are questioning if God trusts them or if they have trust, and that's going to help. That's going to help, education. Don't get me wrong. I know it is a very conservative. It has to be a conservative uh, regulation because it's divisive in nature, right? I think you talking about the Arabic one. I saw that they made the guy take it down because it was in Arabic, right? Which implies that, and the guy, I think the article's guy was saying, you can't have too much God. Why can't I have more God? Why can't I have this kind of God?
Right.
That in essence goes against the freedom of expression, freedom of
Right.
speech, freedom of all the stuff that when you start eliminating things and taking away things, it immediately starts to get culty. When you can only wear white to school, right? That's culty, right? Or you can only.
You guys couldn't see the other tabs. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I couldn't see it. But it's I mean, it's super culty to me.
Did you see
this?
What's offensive about that, right? Like the only offensive then you can come up with is I don't know what that truly means if you don't understand how to read it. But does it imply?
But it says the same thing, had the same flags.
Has the same thing, has
same
flags.
flag.
But
same word, same flags. Yeah.
But people feel, and I'll give you another example of why this is culty, but it's a nationalistic culty thing. But if you go out of the country, I've seen this. I've gone to Mexico, and I've seen Americans get upset in Mexico because they can't find somebody who speaks English.
My Lord.
Like, this is the world's simplest. Everyone speaks English, not really. And you're in Mexico. You're not a citizen. If you got arrested by the Mexican federales, your ass would be in jail and they would not give you the American Constitution. So, but there's a I don't know what you want to call it, man. It's a culty-esque value system and governance that I don't know, man. It's just weird. And I think that's why people are so susceptible to it. What does that say? Does it mean
prayer is coming back in school? Did prayer ever leave?
Yes, it did.
Mandated prayer left, but
I think it's going to come
mandated.
I saw some Mississippi. They're trying to bring back corporal punishment.
I heard that. With parent permission. In the day and age when so many sadists and sick people are being exposed on a daily basis for predatory
in
nature
schools and everything.
In school, and you can bring that back. So people, racism. The cop kneeled on a man's neck and killed him. And now
2020
and now you want to bring back the ability no
that's probably really different for teachers.
We cut to a PTA meeting. So I'm just gonna say it. I'm a bit disappointed in how our teachers are treating our students, especially my kid. I ask my kid every day, did your teacher spank you? Did you get slapped in the face? Did they choke you out? Did they do anything? He says no. I'm like, whoa. I know you're acting up in class. And they're not doing anything. Now, what are we paying for?
Mr. Antoine, I'm gonna have to ask you to kind of cease with those types of comments. As you know, this is a school that is designed for the enhancement and the educational advancement of all students here. when we have any type of behavioral or discipline problems with any of our students, we try the conversation method. Children should be talked to and given tools to make. Yeah,
Excuse me. I'm sorry,
yes.
ma'am. I just want to speak up. My name is Daniel Johnson. I work for the Houston Police Department, and I wanted to say that when are they going to start letting the teachers carry guns in school so that whenever the students getting a little fresh with them, in the streets, once we pull that thing out, things tend to correct themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing wrong with a little pistol whipping here now and there.
Okay, Officer Johnson,
knock some sense into these kids.
Officer,
let me ask you this, teacher: how are you knocking sense into these kids? I'll let you speak.
We're not knocking sense into your children.
You're damn right.
No wonder my kid is failing.
No,
test scores are definitely dropping.
They're down.
Y'all have it all wrong. These students don't need to be bullied and beaten and badgered in order to learn and perform. They can do so in a loving, kind, nurturing environment, which is what we're committed to providing for your children.
The streets don't love them.
That's true.
The streets is going to knock some sense up into their ass. All right. Just like I have to do every single day.
Exactly. That's what you're saying. Like, you're not preparing them for the real world, is what I'm hearing. Because you get out in the real world, the real world's gonna knock you on your ass.
Honestly,
you think if I'm gonna see a teenage boy doing some trouble, you think I'm gonna walk up to him, talk to him civilly, give him some love and respect? No. Hell no.
No.
I'm gonna fuck his life up.
Listen, gentlemen, we spend the lion's share of our time here at the school calming your children down, making them feel that despite the experiences they've had at home, I cannot tell you how many police reports we have filed and we have at least just kept in my desk drawer because I don't want to turn them into police and make these children's lives any worse than they already are. But you gentlemen have got to
look at you. You've completely lost control of this meeting. You haven't used that ruler over there on any of us. You should have been knocking our heads from the beginning. Now you've lost complete control. I'm standing on a desk right now. I'm a grown man.
I'm standing on a desk right now too.
I got both my guns withdrawn right now.
This
in a school. Plain clothes. What's up?
Okay, I'm just gonna have to end this meeting because the level of violence here has far surpassed any expectation I had. I mean, I thought your children were just being they were exaggerating, but they are really telling the truth, and they're probably not telling us enough information about what's going on.
We cut to Tandy speaking with the principal, Miss Miller.
Yeah.
I've been hearing complaints from the parents. I'm this close. I'm sorry. I'm this close. I want you to stay. I'll just say that. I want you to stay. There's only one way we got to do it. We have a student in the other room here.
Yes.
Caught spray painting in the cafeteria. Completely against the rules.
Yes.
Teacher came to speak to it. Spray paint teacher in the face. We're going to bring this student in here. I want you to take that paddle on the wall that was donated by the parents. I want you to use on the student. If you can't do that, then I can't. There's nothing else I can do. We've already told the student about this. He's been informed. He's consented. The parent has consented. Everything is completely above board here. You just have to paddle this kid. And like not like a light paddle either, like you mean it. Like you got to knock some sense into him.
I'm 1 year away from retirement.
I know.
I don't want to walk away from this job. It means a lot to me to be here. And
exactly
I think
what I need to hear.
Me.
All right. Yeah, we're ready for him.
Okay. Hi. Sorry. Yeah, we're ready for you guys. We actually moved it to the basketball arena so more people could see.
I think that's good. People need to know that you mean business now. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it to the to the gymnasium. We're gonna set up the microphones so they can hear every hit. We're gonna set it up for you. If you have anything to say to the student while you're paddling, set up
wait
for
a
the
second.
student.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm late. I want you to wear this dark robe. It's gonna have a hood. It's gonna be black. You can see your eyes, and it's gonna be like the hangman robe. And we're gonna walk the student up, really slowly, playing the Undertaker's theme music for WrestleMania. And as soon as the last bell rings, you can just start whacking away. All right,
start whacking away.
Just go to town.
Yeah.
Well,
here's some. I believe in you.
With the promise of anonymity, if they won't see me, then it may be a little bit easier for me to get through this. This is just going to be the one time.
Just the one time today. Yeah.
And that's it, because this is not what I believe in.
And we cut to the gymnasium. Everything is set up. The bleachers are packed. Students, parents, other teachers, the janitorial staff. That little platform set up where they bring the kid out. And they got microphones set up all over the platform. They put the cloak on her. All right, Miss Miller.
How long have you been planning this? Did y'all sell tickets? There are so many people in
We
here.
actually did raise money through this. We did sell tickets. This is doing a lot of good for the school.
Yeah.
So
you helped to keep the school going. So well done.
Yeah, that's the student saying that. So
here's some craft surfaces as well. We've got some Gatorades, some granola bars.
Did you get a movie theater to sponsor this? In craft services?
Yeah, Alamo Draft House is definitely our sponsor for this. They gave us nice.
Actually streaming this to all of their theaters around the country.
And scene.
Horrible.
It's terrible.
You got SWAT. So Shauna says it was still allowed back in 1980, 1981. I was a freshman in high school. If you didn't dress for PE, you got a SWAT and allowed to sign a big old board.
Who swatted you? Was it like a big, strong ass, like muscle bound wrestling coach?
Probably.
Professional.
They used to check. Oh my God, that's just. They want you to be tortured. That's crazy. That's
kids out there selling padded jeans. Padded jeans.
Yeah. That is just crazy. I mean,
that's wild.
That's terrible.
Crazy to me. It is.
That's terrible.
It is. But people are strange. We're all strange. And in mass groups, we become even stranger.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we tend to revert back to I don't even know what to call it, but like it's again, we're all not far from the days where they had like the stocks where people would be out with their hands and head in like a big wooden bracket.
That's
like,
horrible.
That's not far. Like I can see that coming back somewhere.
For sure.
This next thing you know, you're like in Utah, they discovered a small
cult town, locking people up like that, just sitting because of something like not dressing up for PE and shit.
A student in the stockade.
It's like what? I mean, I was watching something where it said there's one thing for sure that you could almost certainly believe it, as human beings have been very dangerous to human beings since the beginning of time. Like they have not one decade short of carnage across the world. And I argue with people all the time when they talk about it's because of religion. I go, you are fucked up if you think it's because of religion. There's unreligious countries that do carnage, this is a human experience, man, and people will find any reason to get creatively aggressive. we're like the most dangerous things on the planet. Just creatively kill people.
I can't think of any other, unless you count like a spider. I can't think of any other animal like designs a way to torture its victims, like builds contraptions.
It's like, I'm going to build a diamond web to eat you, Mr. Fly. Just a diamond, not the full. This is going to be a special piece of art. They have like their little French hats on. Killer whales are also creative too, man. They find a way to kill you. If they find a way to kill you, they're gonna have fun with it. Like they can kill for fun. They killed a train. They're called killer whales, but dude.
They kill for fun. They kill the train. They are killer whales, everybody. Killer whales.
Killer Whales is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Eventually, somebody's going to come out and start banning people for calling them killer whales. Just like they called the murder hornets. They were like, we're going to change the name of the murder hornets to a more classically accepted name. We're going to call them very aggressive hornets.
Misunderstood hornets.
Misunderstood.
Who lobbied on behalf of the Hornets? I mean, who
exactly.
To the sponsors.
I'm not even gonna get on
They
mine.
say it was a hornet in human's clothes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, we are strange. I always think the strangest thing is, just seeing all of that, just ridiculous aggressiveness. It's insane. I sent you guys the stabbings in Canada. Hearts and prayers go out to those individuals. One of the things that I was thinking about with that is Chris Rock's joke, where it basically was like, we have all these mass shootings, but we never see a mass stabbing. And then, of course, Canada is a mass stabbing. And it kind of just takes those sales out of his joke to a certain degree, because he's like, what did you do in a mass stabbing? You don't get out the way. And he's like, stab. Oh, he got that guy. Oh, he got that guy. Oh, he got that guy. Well, it happened. Somebody is really good with knives, I guess. And it kind of goes back to that whole point, right? There's aggression and violence, whether there's guns, knives, rubber bands, shoes. People are going to get creative. Like, look at prison. They take toothbrushes and kill hundreds of people every year. Toothbrushes and soap.
Yeah. If there were no weapons around in a community, there'd be like some sort of like serial slapper or something. The slapper has struck again. Masked man walking up people.
But
put a pepper on his hands.
But I'm thinking, the stabbing is a quiet violence. Only the only noise is like the person being stabbed and maybe somebody around who sees it. Like mass shooting, you hear that. That's like, what was that? But have you ever been in a crowd and like you see something, you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on. And,
just a whole bunch of people dropping.
And, right. And nobody's yelling like he's stabbing. I mean, I think the one person who yells, he's stabbing people, run, that would get you to move. But if everybody's trying to figure out like, why are people just screaming all of a sudden? Like you could get stabbed in that melee as you try to figure out like, what the hell, what's going on? And then you got it. And before you can say anything, he's moved on to a couple of other people. So
yeah, you can stab a good 6 or 7 people quick without people knowing it.
Right. And I guess that would be mass for stabbing. But no, I was just thinking about that. And like a serial slapper, you'd hear that. You're like, is somebody
you'd
slapping?
hear that.
Is somebody slapping? Is somebody slapping?
Did somebody just get yeah, because people go, the sound people make when they get slapped is always super violent. Like, what the fuck? And everyone's gonna turn around and look and just start seeing a bunch of heads turning.
We cut to a group of people in a small town meeting. All right, guys, he struck again. I mean, ever since our town banned weapons, which I still think is the right move. Anything that could be used as a weapon has been removed. Everything in our town is soft and nerfy or pillowy. And also there's very aerated, as we all know, so you can't suffocate people with it. So we've done a good job, but now I feel like we're a little bit understaffed for handling the serial slapper that's been going around. So I want to get you guys' opinion. Like, is there anything we can do to catch this individual, to stop their reign of terror, their slaps of terror?
I think we should ban people with hands.
All right. Well,
if we just cut off
parents,
those hands that aren't working.
We all have hands in this room.
True, but we have actual, permanent community-based jobs. We need our hands. Other jobs, you don't really need hands. I mean, if you're
name 3 jobs you don't need hands, Clarence.
Donut maker, movie theater.
I think I think he's really onto something here, because if we all got our hands removed, the person who didn't want to get their hands removed would definitely be the serial slapper. That kind of makes sense, right?
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Now hold on a minute. Now this is Sarah from Sarah's Soups and Breads.
Oh, we know you.
Maine.
We know you, Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but listen, I need my bread every morning. I've got the freshest bread in this town. People come from other towns just to get my bread. Now, if I lose my hands, what am I going to need it with? My feet?
All right, Sarah, hold
some
on.
hooks, and you put the hooks in on the stub where your hands used to be, and you just.
Sarah, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk to these 2 gentlemen over here in the other side of the room.
Okay. Fine.
Did you guys hear that? Sarah did not want to get her hands.
She was very.
No, she didn't want to give him up. Yeah,
didn't want to give him up.
Very
I don't believe that bread. I don't believe that. You could totally make bread without hands.
Yeah. That's a really good cover.
Look at the size of her hands too. Those are pretty large,
pretty big and strong. Yeah, they're strong hands.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, let's keep an eye on Sarah.
All
right, Sarah. So I'm sorry, I just had to check on something else with these gentlemen. But you were saying you need your hands.
Well, we all really need our hands, but I really need them to make bread. And
aren't there like machines that make bread now? Like, do you really have to make it by hand, Sarah?
Don't you have assistants that work in the store that can also
if all your assistants were handless, couldn't they devise a way to use their stub arms to make some bread?
Now, y'all are asking too much. This bread shop has been in my family for over 50 years, and from my grandmother on down, we've been using that recipe. We have a certain number of times we need it. We have to use a certain number of fingers. It's all very hand specific. And losing my hands would mean losing my income, and then I would just be homeless on these country town streets.
You're saying you came from a long line of people who use their hands.
Yes. We make breads and soups.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of slapping involved with making that bread. Am I right? Like in the process, you gotta beat the dough up.
You need it. You just slap that bread, and you get it all where it needs to be. You put it off to the side and let that yeast rise, and you bring it back and you punch it a couple of more times and slap it, and then you put it in the oven.
How do you perfect your slapping technique?
Well, I have a room in my home with several different instruments that I use to get my slaps real strong. I have a punching bag, but I don't punch it. I just slap it and just slap it.
We cut to this turned out to be a movie that John is working on. We cut to John talking with the producer. John, look, you told me this was going to be the sequel to Julie and Julia. I don't think you've ever seen Julie and Julia. This had nothing to do with it other than them talking about bread.
Well,
What's this serial slapper sub story going on?
it's my homage to Stanley Kubrick. Like, I don't have the budget to work with, so I had to take and extract the story of Julia and Julie and fashion it into a more contemporary piece, because a lot of these people nowadays need to just get the shit slapped out of them, just knock some sense into them, and then the world will be a better place. So I felt connected to this character.
I'm kind of glad you said that because the council sent me here because they're worried about this movie, and they told me that if John can't make this movie right, I got to paddle him in front of the whole cult.
The whole cult.
Yeah, I got my cloak right over there.
That's what they said.
And we need it. Yeah.
Okay. They didn't say nothing about giving me more money towards the budget.
You've been asking for more budget every time we meet, John. This is
sorry. They're ready for you to debate him if you're ready.
And scene. All right, I think that's the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Yeah, if you see a sex cult, make sure it's full of people you want there to be in there, that you find sexy. If you see a movie cult, make sure you like the movies they're worshiping. Lots of lessons to take away here. Lots of lessons.
All for the okie doke.
Before I give shout outs to the chat, John, Tandy, Amici, any other takeaways from you?
Oh, I just had one.
Yeah, those are the main ones for me. Like, be careful what kind of cult you join.
Yeah,
it's a big choice.
Try a few out. Try a few cults out. Don't settle on just one.
Be open about it. Let people know this is what you're doing. You're a serial cult enthusiast, and you want to dip your toe in a few and see which one has the best benefits.
Or you're not rushing into a decision. Yeah,
not at all.
Tandy.
Yeah, that would have been mine. That and I'm glad the public discourse has moved over to not beating children in learning environments, to enhance their ability to learn. Children can learn without violence.
I like it. Yes.
And if you want to join a cult, that's on you. Send your kids elsewhere.
For sure.
All right, then for John, for Tandy, for me, for myself at the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, for that murder hornet that John's after.
All right, you don't want to get a cease and desist letter, Antoine.
We are out.